there, Skeleton Key here, and this weekend was a Friends of the Library book sale weekend. So my bag that I got from Left Coast Crime came in really handy. I filled it up for less than $20, like, significantly less than $20, like $18. Yeah, that's not bad. So let's see what I got. Alright. So, I am a sucker. Well, I'm a sucker for cookbooks in general, but especially these community cookbooks that, everyone contributes a recipe or two. And our own book club put one together and we used it as our directory. So this is Cache la Poudre Cuisine, and yes, it's pronounced Poudre. And so you can tell, because when I first moved here, I was pronouncing it with the French pronunciation, and people would just look at me really funny. That's the Poudre Canyon Cookbook, Volume 3, and I think, like, the previous two volumes, one came out in the 80s and one came out in the 90s, and this is from 2008. So, but yeah, isn't that pretty? That's a pretty cookbook. And sometimes you'll see a lot of the same recipes in all these cookbooks, but I really don't care. It's just fun to look through, and I always find something new and different in these. Sarlat and the Perigord Noir. This is in France, and I've never been there. I have no significant plans to go, but I like these for inspiration for D&D stuff. I really would like to put together some 5e modules, with older European type settings, and of course it's a fantasy setting, so it doesn't have to be exact, but just like pictures like this and the maps and all the diagrams, it's just really inspirational. It kind of puts me in that mood. So even if I don't really care about accuracy for those things, it's just a fun little tool. So there's a book. So, and yeah, this isn't a book. This is a tour book guide for Idaho, Montana, and Wyoming, and I'm not going to read this like a book, but we are taking a road trip to Montana. So we'll be driving through Wyoming, and hopefully we won't wind up in Idaho. Internet could be kind of spotty, so it's nice to have like actual maps, and this is, it says, good through 2018, I think, so it's 4 years out of date, but broad strokes, that's good enough for, trying to figure out where the heck we are if we get lost, or try to prevent getting lost in the first place. If we lose satellites. I've already got our accommodations set up, but on road trips, I like, and I should do more of it than I do. I do like to stop and just kind of look around at, roadside attractions and touristy stuff, and just kind of surprising stuff that you see alongside of the road. And that's one thing I didn't get to do on my New Mexico trip earlier this month. So, because I didn't have another driver, so if I wanted to take pictures or video of something, I had to actually find a place to pull over, and you can't really do that on the interstate, and take pictures and try to be safe about it and not get hit by another car or attacked by a horse. Do horses attack? Surely they can. They're big, and yeah. But that was sort of, yeah. But I figured this will be a nice little reference. Here we go. $18.28. That's my receipt. So I just picked up a couple old Agatha Christie paperbacks. I haven't even looked yet to see what these will be replacing in my collection. They may or may not be an upgrade from what I had before. don't know. We'll see. But this is Zathura by Chris Van Allsburg, and this is the sequel to Jumanji, which I already have a copy of and I've read, and I really like his art style. Now a major motion picture, which I had heard of this movie, but I've never watched this movie, so I don't know. This will be kind of interesting, And I don't have kids, but I have friends who have kids, so I'm sure I can find somebody to pass these along to. And as I was just kind of looking through the kids' books, somebody else who was looking at the kids' books said, "Oh, hey, you might be interested in this." And it's the format is a little different. And I mean, look at all this artwork. It's amazing artwork. So, but it's a poem. It's, I don't know, 40 pages, something like that. And it's like written in acts, but it's all in verse. So this will be very interesting. And I think this is the only other kids book I got, and it's Why Did Cherokees Move West? And it's just a slim little kids book. But one of the questions is, why did the government make them leave Georgia? So that's promising, I guess. We'll find out. The Boys in the Boat by Daniel James Brown. I see this come up a lot in recommendations for all sorts of nonfiction reading prompts and reading challenges. So yeah, that's thick. Is it over 500? Well, let's see. With the index, it's over 500 pages. It's over 500 pages, including the author's note and the notes, but they're like real notes, not just like, references to other works. It's actual notes. So, yeah. So this will also count for a tome topple at some point. Una Out of Order by Margarita Montemori. I don't know. I'm guessing on the name. But I've seen this discussed a lot in groups for reading challenges, and there seems to be a fair amount of disagreement on whether it's good or not, or whether it was enjoyed. I think even people who don't really care for it seem to acknowledge that it's pretty well written. I haven't really paid that close attention, so I don't know, but it sounded interesting to me whenever anyone would talk about it. The Ghost of Crutchfield Hall by Mary Downing Hahn. And this is one that I saw the spine and I was like, ooh, that looks interesting. I think that's a prompt on a challenge, so that'll be cool. When 12-year-old Florence boards the horse-drawn coach in London, she looks forward to a new life at Crutchfield Hall, her great-uncle's manor house in the English countryside. Anything will be better, Florence thinks, than the grim London orphanage she has just left. Ooh, is this middle grade? This would have counted for the orphan. I think this is middle grade. It seems like middle grade. Does it say anywhere? The protagonist is 12-year-old Florence, so that suggests that it's middle grade. So I guess I was not done with children's books, but anyway. I don't know if I've mentioned it, but I do embroidery, but it's been a long time since I've done much besides work on that one quilt top that I started working on in like 1979. So I got this. This is the Pattern Library Embroidery, and it's got a bunch of different like patterns and instructions for stitches. And so I thought this would be neat to go through. It is just sort of a refresher on, and I'm sure there's stuff in here that I've never done before. So this will be cool. I've read one other book by a novella by Becky Chambers, and that was A Psalm for the Wild-Built. And this is a different, and maybe it's a standalone, or maybe it's the start of a different series, but it's To Be Taught If Fortunate, and I really, really enjoyed A Psalm for the Wild Bill. So, and I have not read any of the Wayfarer series, which starts with The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet, but saw this, I was like, oh, another kid's book. All right, and this is my last one, but this is How to Train Your Dragon, Book 1 by Cressida Cowell. I enjoyed the movie, so yeah, this is a little chapter book. Oh, hey, it's got deckled edges, so that's a good thing for reading challenges. And I think there's a reading challenge prompt to read something that you've seen the movie but never read the book. So, I've seen the movie. All right, well, so let's see. Can I get a stable enough stack to lift it up for the camera? It'll be a little difficult with that cookbook. Okay, I'm gonna try it. Oh my gosh. Okay, hey, I managed to get... I got it all in frame. Woohoo! So yeah, let me know if you have read any of these before and if you have any thoughts on them, or if you're a sucker for these community cookbooks too, or just tell me what your latest find was at a Friends of the Library sale. I look forward to chatting with you in the comments below, and please like and subscribe, and see you around.